What's up, my friends? Happy Monday. Wow, is it a Monday? I have a few things to share with you guys. I just had a really weird experience out on the road, like on the highway. It was really weird. Had my hair in a ponytail all day. It's just all gnarly. I was thinking about cutting my hair actually recently and donating it to something, but I haven't gotten around to doing that. But I was just I was just on the freeway. There was an accident on 94, and it took me about an hour and 15 minutes to get home. And I was like, okay, listening to tunes, and I got my maps on, and I saw an alternate route pop up, and so I looked down, and I'm like, okay, I think I'll take that route. So I hit that route. I hit that route and was like, yeah, I think I'm going to take that route. And then I looked up to see which road it wanted me to take. And this guy in front of me slams on his brakes. He slams on his brakes, and he's honking his horn, and like it's almost stop and go. So there's like all the cars in front of him are slowly moving past, and he's honking his horn, and he's got his hand up, and he's looking back, and he's going like this, and I'm like, there's a semi behind me that almost hit me. And I look back and I'm like, is he doing that to the semi? What is going on? I'm looking around. There's nobody around because everybody's gone forward, and he's honking his horn and he's going like this. And I'm like, after like 10 seconds, I'm like, honk, honk, let's go. What are you doing? I'm not doing anything. And he gets his phone out, and he's holding up his phone, and he's pointing at his phone, and he's going like this. No, no, no. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what does the world come to? Like, seriously, what is the world coming to? This guy almost caused an accident with me in the semi behind me, and me almost hitting him, and I literally looked at my phone for 5 seconds to switch routes, and this guy somehow was able to see that, and he was freaking out on me, and it's one of those moments where I stopped honking. I'm like, okay, this guy's having some sort of day. He's had too much Adderall. I don't know what is going on. And I'm literally just flabbergasted. And it's in those moments where I used to just get so mad, like, to speed up and start honking at him, or like get beside him and be like, what the hell, blah, 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 flick him off and all this stuff. And I'm just like, that's the person that I was like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But now I'm just like, you know what? I meet and I come across and run into so many unique people. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe that person is a real big proponent of not distracted driving, but like literally what he was doing would have been much more of a distraction than what I was doing. I literally had my maps up and was able to switch routes to try to get somewhere, and I don't even know how he saw me do that. It was really weird. And so I was just gonna share that. It's like, people, settle down, slow down. Like, I'm an adult. I have a phone holder. This is a no touch state or whatever. Like, you're not supposed to have your phone in your hand. But if it's in a phone holder and you need to answer a call, you can hit a button. If you need to switch a route, you can switch a route. It's not like I was texting anybody or doing anything that was out of the ordinary. There was an accident, and it popped up on my maps as an alternate, more like save time, right? And I was like, oh yeah, let's do that. And so I hit that, and I don't get it. So yesterday I seen a video of one of my buddies that I like to watch a lot, and he made the remark and made the comment that, like, to hang on, right? To don't quit just yet. One of the things that happens in people's lives is that you go through the hard times right before it's about to switch to an easier or better time, right? So he was talking about being in BUD/S for the Navy SEALs. And in the Navy SEALs, they push you, they break you down, and then they build you up. But a lot of times, he said, what happens is people will quit in military boot camp right before it starts to get a little bit easier, or they let up a little bit, or they loosen up a little bit. And he said that there were so many times in his military training where they would be working really, really hard, and then people would get up, go ring the bell, and quit. And then right after they did that, they would loosen up, and it would be a lot easier over time. You get to recoup, you get to, catch your breath. And he was thinking, how many of those people, if they would have just hung on another 5, 10 minutes, half hour, they would have made it. Their dream would have been fulfilled. They would have been, one stage closer, one step closer to becoming like a Navy SEAL. Well, recovery is like that too, because a lot of people give up and go back to using drugs or alcohol. Like this weekend, I had a really profound experience. I was triggered in so many different ways, and I was introduced with new pressures that I have not felt in such a long time, if ever. I seen drugs being used. I was very uncomfortable, and I was tested. And I left the campsite on my motorcycle to go into town to get away from it all for a minute and to think, to meditate, and to pray, and to figure out what my next move was. And I decided, since I had paid the $40 to camp, that I wasn't going to leave the campsite. I wasn't going to let other people doing drugs and drinking ruin my sober fun, right? So I ate some dinner, because it's really expensive to eat inside there. So I ate some dinner, and I went to the gas station to get a big bottle of water for the night. And when I went into the gas station, I walked down an aisle, and in Wisconsin, they have booze. They have booze. Like you can buy regular booze off the shelf in Wisconsin at gas stations. Now in Minnesota, you have to go to a liquor store. They don't sell booze. I think they sell 3-2 beer, which is like a lower alcohol content beer, in gas stations, but they don't sell booze. You never find that in Minnesota gas stations. And so of course, you guys, this is where you got to watch it. As I was walking down the aisle, I had a thought in my head like, whoa, there's alcohol. Everybody else is drinking. Just grab it, go into your tent and do it. And no, my sobriety is way more important, right? I don't feel like letting anybody or myself down. No, I've had too much time to experience where that heads and where that goes. It's not worth it. But for that split second, you guys, just by walking down that aisle, I had a trigger. And I remember all the things that we talk about in my videos, right? Got to be prepared. You have environmental and situational awareness, and you're always on guard, right? Relapse prevention is probably number one thing. That's what recovery is, right? Is basically relapse prevention. You're always working on things, and no matter how triggered I was at the campsite or whatever, I bolstered up, I mustered up my strength, my courage, my dedication, my commitment, my perseverance, my persistence, and I got back to the campsite, and I saw my friend Justin, and I was like, he's like, hey, is everything okay? I'm like, everything's great, man. You know what? I went around, we watched the weenie grab for a little while, and then I just decided to park it for the night inside my tent. And although it was hot and steamy and a little bit miserable, I was like, you know what? I made the right choice, and I did that. And then look it, I am here today, another day sober, one day at a time. Nothing happened to me, and I am very grateful and thankful that I was able to leave my sobriety intact, because you know what? There are going to be those tests, and if I were to give up right before any kind of success story happens, then that success story wouldn't have happened, right? So if I'd have drank this weekend or used drugs or did something out of the ordinary or out of my program, then I'd be really regretting it today, because you know what? Life goes on. Monday morning, you got to go to work, right? So if I'd have used drugs this weekend, it only lasts a short while. Drinking drugs, it only lasts for a little while. And one of my best friends, Jeff, was telling me about a story about how somebody, went back to drug use after a while, and they found that it wasn't the same as it was before. Like, it didn't give them the warm, fuzzy feelings that it did before. So even if we were to go back and relapse and go back to that old lifestyle, don't expect it to be all great and all grand and the best time of your life. It might be it might be the opposite. You might have a bad trip. Just saying bad trip on alcohol or drugs or meth or coke or heroin or prescription pills. Like, it might not be what you think it's going to be, right? You're not going to have the best old grand time. It might be miserable. And then you're stuck with the guilt and the shame and the regret of having relapsed. And I don't want you to go through that. I don't want to go through that. I think we're better than that. I think our program means much more to us. Our faith means much more to us. Our friends, our family. So don't do that. So don't give up. Don't give up right before you might hit a huge milestone or a big moment of spiritual growth. And I think that's what I'm going through. I'm going through a time of spiritual growth right now, because I'm being tested in all these different ways. I get lonely and I fight it off. I fight the urges. I fight the loneliness. I get out and I do something. I ride my motorcycle. I call my friends. I get around. Me and Jeff are going camping in a few weekends. I do things that just provide me much joy and strength and courage to keep going. And I hope that these videos help you somehow, some way, because I know that doing them is super fun for me, because I get to talk through things, I get to experience things with you. And I'm working on my motovlog video from this weekend. It's going to be in 2 parts, I think, because it's about a 40-minute video, a 30-minute video. I'm going to edit it down to about a 25-30-minute video. So I'll do 2 parts. I'll do a day 1 and a day 2. But I want to share some very valuable thoughts with you in that video, so don't miss it, okay? It'll be posted sometime this week. Today was a really tough day. We pushed it, we got the work done. And tomorrow I'm seeing the urologist to get my kidney stones assessed, because it's been over 2 weeks and I'm still having kidney stone pain. I'm still urinating a lot of blood, and I'm still experiencing a considerable amount of pain at times. I've been able to keep it at bay with acetaminophen and ibuprofen, but it hasn't gone away in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I gotta get it. This appointment's been in the works, so I'm excited for that. So I gotta take some time off tomorrow of work to do that. So wish me well, pray for me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, love you guys. Lefty out. See ya.